Tantoy, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, I would like to ask direct my questions to the officials of the Department of Transportation. Maybe Captain Tamayo may answer this. Last January 1, you mentioned, I don't know who amongst the officials of the DOTR mentioned, that it was the UPS that malfunctioned. And now, your letter addressed to Senator Grace Poe, you mentioned that it was the circuit breaker that malfunctioned. Ano ba talaga?
Stop the timer. Okay, go ahead.
As I mentioned earlier, Your Honor, the initial indication was the circuit breaker went on standby. So, the UPS went on standby, hence there was no power going in. So, there was a series of tests that was done by the technicians, and they decided to restart or re-energize the circuit breaker. So, the UPS. So, this was now working. So, all the while, may kuryente na. So, we were happy with that because we just had to wait for the re-initialization of the system para operational. But it turned out, after Powerus was allowed to energize the CNS ATM, the people inside the equipment building detected a burning smell or something in the equipment. So what they did, they immediately turned off all the circuit breakers inside that equipment room to protect the whole system from further damage. So ganun ho ang nangyari doon. So kala namin, the first defect was the UPS. So yun ho una lumabas, but then troubleshooting occurred until they found out na yun hong circuit breaker pala ang nagkakos ng shutdown ng UPS.
Bakit ngayon nyo lang nalaman, after 8 days, bakit ngayon nyo lang nalaman na circuit breaker ang may diferensya?
Hindi po. If I may, we found out on the same day. Kaya
On the same day?
Yes, sir.
Ngayon lang kayo sumulat kay Senator Grace sa January 9 na circuit breaker ang may diferensya.
It occurred on January 1 din po. Na
Wala pong proper maintenance ang circuit breaker.
The circuit breaker has minimum maintenance actually. Ang ginagawa lang ho ng mga technicians dyan is to check yun hong mga nuts kanina na nakita natin. They make sure it is tight. They make sure the voltage passes through it and there is continuity. The circuit breakers are sealed units, sir.
How did you fix the faulty circuit breaker?
We replaced it, sir.
Did you make any upgrade?
No, sir. Exactly
You just
the same.
fixed it?
Exactly the same.
Is there a backup system?
This circuit breaker, sir, marami eh. As I illustrated earlier, bago pumasok po doon, 3 pa ang circuit breakers, and then each of the equipment has its own circuit breaker itself. Aside from that, there are 2 panels for redundancy.
You mentioned on the same day that it was the circuit breaker that malfunctioned.
That's correct, sir.
Why did you report to our chairperson only now that it was the circuit breaker that malfunctioned?
I would like to apologize, sir, for the late submission to the chairperson.
Kasi pagkakalam namin, UPS ang nag-malfunction.
Yes, sir.
Ngayon sinasabi mo, circuit breaker. Are you incompetent?
I apologize, sir.
Okay, when was the system purchased?
As I mentioned earlier, the project started in 2010, and finally it was inaugurated in 2018.
2018. How much? This
About
was?
rough ballpark figures are 10 billion pesos.
Who evaluated the system? Were experts hired for this purpose?
That's correct, sir. A feasibility study was done.
Who recommended the procurement to procure the system?
That was in early 2010, sir. I think that was DOTC at that time. When the
DOTC?
yes, sir. The project started.
Okay, I'll get back to you, Captain Tamay. Secretary Tugade, I think according to our chairperson that there were unfair reports that you diverted the 13 billion allotted to CAAP. Now it's your time to explain if you diverted the 13 billion or not.
With the permission of the Honorable Chair and the members of the Public Services Committee, I would like to extend my appreciation and gratitude for the opportunity that has been given to me to be present today, to be able to explain certain issues and matters which unfortunately were so unsavory that perked me up and woke me up in my retirement moments. Nagulat at nagulantang ho ako nung sinabi nila, dalawang issue ho yan. Una ho, may diversion. Pangalawa ho, yung sistema is outdated and outmoded. Marami nagsasabi, hindi ko sinabi yan. Nakikita ko lang ho yun sa Facebook, sa social media, sa mga dyaryo. Kung totoo o hindi yon, hindi ko alam. Ngayon ho, nandito ako upang ipaliwanag ang mga bagay-bagay, upang magbigay kaliwanagan sa mga nakikita natin sa Facebook, social media at pahayagan. Una ho, sa diversion of funds. Ang sabi po nila, may diversion na 13 billion. Una ho, nag-isip ako, saan nanggaling yung figure na 13 billion? Pagkakalam ko, kung proyekto at proyekto lang ang pag-uusapan, ang amount involved is around 10.3 billion. Nasaan yung 2.7 billion? Hindi ko alam. Ngayon, doon sa diversion, alam nyo, yung salitang diversion, merong unsavory connotation yan eh. Para kang may ginawang ililipat mo yung pera at ginawa mong pondo para sa ibang mga project na dapat gastusin mo sa mga proyektong kinauukulan. Yun ho ang hindi magandang tema dyan. Wala hong na-divert pagkat ang project ng CNS-ATM is what we call a loan-funded project. Ibig sabihin, yung proseso niyan na ang nangangasiwa is JICA, hindi ho pumunta sa amin yung pera niyan. Bago ka makakuha ng pera dyan, marami kang submission na gagawin sa paniniwala at approval ng JICA. Kahigpit-higpit ho ng JICA. Wala ho sa amin yung pera. May proseso ho dyan kung kailan i-release. Rini-release ba yung pera sa DOTR? Hindi po. Rini-release yan sa mga kontraktor. Sa ganung pamaraan, at yun naman ang panukala at pamaraan dito sa proyektong ito, wala pong pagkakataon o oportunidad man lang na mag-divert ka. Diretso yan na pupunta sa mga kontraktor. Ngayon ho, kung ang sasabihin mo dinivert yung GAA, funded, budgeted project, isipin ho natin na yung CAAP is an autonomous independent body, GOCC, may sariling budget ho yan. Na hindi ka pwedeng magpalipat-lipat dyan. Criminal ho yan. At abogado rin ho naman tayo, hindi naman ho tayo gagawa ng ganyang kalokohan. Ang alam ko lang ho, there was once upon a time in 2018, a budgeted amount of 100, don't hold me to the numbers, 120 or 180 million, precisely for maintenance, administration, security, and operation of the CNS-ATM. Bakit ho may ganyan? Papaliwanag ko lang ho. Kanina natanong, ano ang nangyari nung natapos may award yung CNS-ATM? Meron hong pinirmahan na Certificate of Turnover na tinatawag. Gawain ho ng Thales na i-maintain yan under warranty for a period of 2 years. Tama ho kayo, Madam Chair, na after 2 years, wala na. Bakit nagtuloy-tuloy? Sino ang nangangasiwa? Sino ang nag-maintain? May papel ho ako ditong tangan. Ang nagme-maintain ho, babasahin ko lang po, Madam Chair, if I may.
Go ahead, sir.
I, as Director General of CAAP, confirmed that CAAP has accepted and taken over the new CNS ATM project Package 1 facilities properties on 16 October 2017. And listen to this. And from that date will be responsible, listen to this, for the administration, security, operations, and maintenance of facilities and properties. Pinirmahan ho ito ni Mr. Sijonko nung panahon na yon. Under the recommendation of the then USEC for aviation in the person of Mr. Iski Tamayo. Ito ho yung pinirmahan niya. May endorsement ho yan, yung tinatawag natin na contractor na tumutulong sa DOTR. Ang pangalan po, if I may read, Madam Chair, Dr. Yukinori Otani. Siya ho yung consultant nung proyekto na ito na nagsabing, na nag-witness nung turnover na yon. In other words, it is true that Thales stopped its operation and maintenance after 2 years because that is their warranty. But CAAP assumed the responsibility of taking full responsibility on maintenance, operation, administration, even security of the system. Kailangan ho yan tuloy-tuloy. Tama rin ho na kailangan meron kang core of skillful engineers that will have to manage the CNS ATM. Kasi nga ho, binit-bit ang responsibilidad ng CAAP yan. Marami hong nandiyan sa CAAP ngayon na alam itong dokumentong ito. Nagulantang at nagugulat lang ako na hindi sinasabi. Nandiyan, of course, si Mr. Sijonko, nandiyan si Mr. Tamayo, nandiyan din ho yung Danjon Lucas na siya ho yung chief of staff nila si Jonko at Tamayo. Lahat ho dapat yan ilinalatag at linalabas dito para maintindihan ng totoo at lubusan ng committee ito. Hindi ho pinabayaan ng Thales yung maintenance. Ito ho, dapat ituloy. Kaya lang, tapos na yung warranty. Kailangan mag-take over, natapos siya ng 220. Ngayon, bakit hindi tinutuloy ng Thales sa Sumitomo yung maintenance? Kasi ho, gusto nilang pumirma ng service agreement. Alam din ni Mr. Sijonko yan, alam ni Mr. Tamayo, alam ni Dan Lucas. Kasi ho, meron silang claim. Mga claim ho yan, hindi uutang yan. Claim ng Thales Sumitomo. Ito, humigit kumulang, please don't hold me to the number, mga 640 million ang kine-claim nila. Remember, this project has been born and begotten years ago na wala pa kami, kaya humihingi kami ng mga dokumento. Hindi ako papayag dyan kung hindi nyo may submit yung dokumento. Sabi rin yung contractor na hapon, huwag mong bayaran kasi walang dokumento. Bakit ko ho babayaran? Ngayon, sinasabi nila, kung hindi mo binabayaran, wala ng service agreement. Huwag mo naman ako hostage dyan, kaibigan. Wala kami ng mga panahon na yon. Liwanagin natin yan. Kaya nga ho, meron akong pinapirma sa CAAP na sila ang mga ngasiwa sa maintenance, administration, and security. Naniwala ho ako sa dokumento na yan. Now, nagkaroon ho ng diskusyon with Thales and Sumitomo. Ano yung diskusyon with Thales and Sumitomo? Sabi namin, kung gusto mo, out of good faith, babayaran ko na yung mga issues na walang problema na kumpleto ang dokumento. Pag-usapan natin, yung balance, punta tayo sa arbitration. Nabinbin ho ang usapan. Walang nangyari. Nag-create ho ako ng internal committee sa DOTR para tignan yung claims ng Thales Sumitomo. This committee was composed of 3 gentlemen in DOTR. Number 1 is USEC Gary, nandito ho siya ngayon. Dati siyang USEC for Finance. Nandiyan yung dating ASEC ng Procurement at Project Implementation, si Mr. Banoy Lopez. yung Gary Ho de Guzman ang apelyido nun. Yung pangatlo, si Renier Yebra, na head ng legal. Sila ho ang nagsabi sa akin, alam mo ba, huwag mong bayaran yan. Bakit? Kasi mas malaki pa yung liquidated damages because of the delay on the project. Eh bakit ko mababayaran yan? So hindi ho utang yon. Yun ho claim na pinag-usapan at pinag-uusapan. Dapat ho yan umandar at umusad nung umalis kami 6 months ago. Alam ho yan ni Mr. Sijonko, ni Daniel Lucas, at alam din ni Mr. Tamayo yan. Ito ho yung papel.
Secretary Tugade, so ang sinasabi ninyo, dahil na-delay yung implementation ng proyekto, nagkaroon tayo ng binabayaran na parang penalty.
Meron dapat silang bayaran ng penalty ho. Ang tawag po dyan, liquidated damages na babayaran ng kwan.
Because of the delay that we caused.
Hindi ho. Because of certain delays also sa Tales, saka sa Sumitomo.
Okay.
Kaya nga sabi ko, yung amount na wala tayong issue, bayaran na namin kayo. Ire-recommenda ko sa JICA, bayaran kayo. And sabi ko naman ng iba, huwag mong bayaran. Kailangan bayaran mo yung buo. Sabi nung committee ko, yung 3 abogado, mas malaki pa yung claim namin dyan sa liquidated damages. Eh, bakit ako magbabayad? Maliwanag kung plunder yan. Eh, hindi ko gagawin yun.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, Senator Jinggoy. Yung sinasabi ninyong pinirmahan na turnover to CAAP, sino yung pumirma nun? Hindi yun sa administrasyon pa ninyo?
Hindi ho. Administration ko yan. Pinapirma ko sila kasi ite-turn over na. Sabi ko kay Mr. Sijonko, pumirma kayo dyan na kaya yung administration and maintenance nung CNS-ATM. Pumirma ho sila. Bakit sila pumirma? Inirekomenda ho ni Mr. Tamayo. Ito ho yung pirma niya.
Okay. All right, now that's clear.